Lee, thank you for your patience. It's all my fault, as I say. You've got the right to throw abuse at me, but let's start with this. First of all, tell us why you're qualified to talk about abuse on X. I know you haven't thrown abuse to people yourself. Why does this matter to you?
Well, I mean, there's an article in The Guardian, I think it was yesterday, that covered and it was titled "The Deluge of Abuse Sent on X to Prominent UK Politicians during the election period." And this study covered 5 politicians. Initially, it covered a much wider base, but they decided to bring it into just these 5 politicians who got the kind of most abuse, according to this study. And that was Rishi Sunak, Keir Starmer, Diane Abbott, Suella Braverman, and Sadiq Khan. And now between them, they were sent apparently 85,000 clearly abusive messages between the 1st of May and the 30th of July. And this was conducted by the University of Sheffield. Now, looking at the kind of breakdown of the results, just to give you the nuts and bolts of the story first and what it consists of, is 6% of the replies that were sent to those politicians were considered abusive. Now, I have a slight problem with what's considered abusive and what isn't, but we'll go into that in a minute. But 8,000 used the word liar. 3,000 used the C word, of which I won't repeat at this time of the day.
Don't do that.
And 2,000 used the word criminal. Now, I want to start off by saying, probably like most normal people, is I definitely do not condone being abusive or nasty to anybody on social media. I think we probably all experienced some form of abuse. I know you have, Lembit, as you were saying to me in the break. I have also had some abuse myself. I've got a reasonable amount of followers on X. I get my fair share. And the way that I view this personally is that this is an unfortunate side effect of social media. And there are some really nasty trolls out there. But I have to admit, looking at these results, 6% seem to me quite a relatively low number. And they're also including the word liar and criminal in terms of what they consider abusive. Now, there's 2 things that I'd like to say on that just initially is firstly, I don't think that's that bad, those 2 particular words. And to be fair, in most cases, calling an MP a liar or a criminal, maybe criminal's a little bit too far, is a legitimate criticism, especially when we're talking about mass uncontrolled migration. I mean, a lot of them have lied for decades. You know, for example, just one example, our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer lied about respecting the result of the Brexit referendum, lied his way to win the Labour leadership, and lied his way into number 10, of which we're starting to see them all unfold. Now, I probably would have been picked up in this study for calling Keir Starmer a liar. But he is a liar. That's an objective. That's not even an opinion. It's an objective fact. And the other thing to bear in mind is that politicians are accountable to the public. And at the moment, you know, there are a lot of people out there who are really angry with politicians and politics in general. And as I said, a lot of these people have legitimate concerns. We've had 20 to 30 years of lies and policy failure from successive governments. And if anyone dares to share their concerns about uncontrolled mass migration, they're labelled as far right or racist and picked up in studies like these where they can be deemed as being abusive. So it is a very, very difficult subject, this. You know, it's going to roll on for many. I mean, I did my research before I came on. There are a lot of previous examples of social media companies being hauled up in front of MPs in committees to explain themselves as why there is
couple of points here, online. Couple of things. I don't really take it too seriously when people call me anything, including the C word, because it's just words. So, is there a practical consequence from this, do you think? Does it really incite, for example, violence or harm to the individuals, or is it just hurty words?
It's like trying to... I'm the same as you. I take exactly the same view. Every day I get hundreds of abusive messages, and I view it the same way as you. It's like a little bit of water for a dog's back. It used to bother me. It really did. When it first started happening, it did used to bother me. But the more it's gone on, you just kind of get used to it a little bit. It's like trying to control the pub, the chat in a pub. You can't regulate speech of people having a laugh and a joke in a pub. I suppose the difference is obviously this is online. It's published, and there is a chance that the person that you're being abusive to will see it. Life is hard. I think someone said life is hard. Wear a helmet. So and I think that's what. I think trying to ban our way out of this is the wrong method. There is one other thing to say about this. This study did only look at X, which I think was a little bit unfair. Why didn't they look at Facebook or Instagram or other social media, or TikTok, for example? Why is it just X they're looking at? And actually, I feel quietly confident about how Elon Musk will handle any pressure put on him by either an incredibly authoritarian Labour government that we have now, or, for example, Ofcom, who have got these new emergency powers. Now, I don't know if anyone's been following what Elon Musk has been doing, but he's had a recent run-in with the country of Brazil. They are basically, there was a bit of a long story, so I won't bore everyone with it, but there was an election approaching in Brazil. And basically, the authoritarian government of Brazil had requested that Elon Musk censor people or remove accounts from his platform, and he refused. So if Elon Musk can stand up to Brazil, which is a huge market for him, without a doubt, he can definitely stand up to the UK government should they try and censor anything that happens on his platform.